Hi, darling.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
Got Fluffy Prince, Mr. Spinach, lying on me. We've been out at a friend's birthday party today, haven't we?
Our gorgeous friends, Bethan and Laura. And our goddaughter, Manon.
Lovely goddaughter. And so you've had a few wines. I'm catching up now.
I had a few wines. I tried to take it easy.
Yeah.
But then we had French 75s.
Yeah.
Bloody heck.
I wanted 10 of them in my gob.
They were so good. Rashi's favourite drink. Our friend Rashi.
I deserve
favourite.
A medal for how slowly I drank that.
You
cocktail.
do. Very unusual for you. I also think like that is what obviously comes with having a bartender boyfriend, is knowing that like a French 75 is your favourite cocktail. Because
yes.
Cam would have totally made that for Rashi to impress her, and I am obsessed. We love Cam and
Very
Rashi. So that was delicious. French 75, a perfect drink. We should have one next week when we're in London.
Oh, great idea.
We should go to that French. I wanted to go to that French bar in Soho.
What's it called? La Bohème.
La Bohème.
La Bohème.
And I wanted to go with Scarlett, our friend who's visiting from Australia. Sorry, name dropping all of our friends. I want to go with her because I think she'd like it. And that would be really fun.
Yes, because we're going to see Evita next weekend.
I can't wait with Rachel Zegler. I've been looking forward to this for months and months and months. We booked tickets, I think maybe even last year, before they'd even announced who the Evita was.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was happening. We knew it was a Jamie Lloyd. We knew it was at the Palladium. And we just love a theatre show. We've been so good. I'm sorry if we talked about this on the podcast before, but we have, since we've been together, we've watched some fucking incredible theatre. Mm-hmm. We saw Cabaret in its first iteration. We saw Hello Dolly last year with Imelda Staunton. That was a big bucket list situation for both of us individually. I think you got to see Hello Dolly and I got to see Imelda Staunton.
Oh, that was tears all the way through for me.
It was. Oh, and of course, Fiddler on the Roof last year with our friend Caitlin.
Life-changing.
That was life-changing. Didn't expect it to be so good, but it was unbelievably incredible.
I'm quite excited about Evita because I have no idea if I'm gonna like it or not.
Yeah,
Andrew Lloyd Webber is very hit or miss.
Totally, but Evita's famously good.
Is it?
Yeah, maybe that's because it's Paddy the
According
Opponent.
to who?
Me.
That song is very famous, and I guess they did a film of it.
Oh, Don't Cry For Me, Argentina.
Yeah.
I'm and that's not even the ones that we're obsessed over. We know that song. There's another song that I'm really obsessed with called, what's it called? I don't even know what it's called. A New Argentina. I'm obsessed with it. But it's I think that song is ADHD heaven. Too many things happen at once in different weird ways that don't add up and it doesn't make sense, and I love it.
That's why I have to make sure I'm not hungover or really tired when we go to see it. Otherwise I might be overwhelmed.
Or drunk.
No, drunk's fine.
I don't like being drunk at the theatre because I feel sleepy. Because the lights go, it doesn't matter what I see, the lights go down and then I feel a bit sleepy. So I don't want to be too pissed. It's night everyone, because I'm sleep trained.
Yeah. I'm just that means time to stay awake and not be able to get any rest.
I'm a sleep trained baby, and by sleep trained I mean I was probably left to cry out. But I sleep well, so thank you, Mom.
Speaking of trauma, should we talk about what we're really here to discuss today?
Oh my god, I'm wearing a blue shirt by accident.
Yep,
in honour.
Accidental honoration.
What's the word? Not normative determinism, is it? Maybe that's not what it is.
No. Synchronicity?
Sure. Look at that little paw.
Oh my god.
There's a little paw on Daisy's lap. Spinach is looking after her. Spinach turns into... Are we going to talk about Sylvie?
We have talked about Sylvie before, I think.
Spinach turns into what I imagine is a nurse under Florence Nightingale's kind of jurisdiction.
Yeah.
In the 19 whenever that was 10s. Spinach turns into a nurse that just looks after you whenever it's your period time. Your time of the month, your period, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's doing his duties. He's doing his duties now, and
it hasn't even come out yet. He knows.
No, it has been.
Oh, darling, has it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know.
I've had my tens machine on all day.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
Don't know. I usually announce it, don't I?
Yeah, so...
Only a little bit.
I'm that's so weird.
Tomorrow will be the proper day.
My darling, and I'm not even here. I'm leaving. I love you. Sorry.
I love you. Period chat.
Period chat. Well, got some fish fingers in the freezer. They'll just sort you out. What, like, okay, so Hannah Hampton puts a tampon up her nose when it's bleeding and you've got a fish finger in the freezer for your period.
I don't know, just the jump from period to fish fingers.
I just thought that was comforting, was my point. I was like, I've comforted you by giving you some fish fingers.
That is comforting.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
I think Bonnie Blue needs some comfort. She doesn't need any more fish fingers, but she needs a dog and she needs some comforting.
Yeah, the documentary Bonnie Blue: 1,000 Men and Me was brought to our attention by Sarah Mullis. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, but also
fuck you.
Fuck you. The first I heard of Bonnie Blue was on Catherine Ryan's podcast a month or so ago.
I think I first heard about her because of at the end of the documentary, which is on Channel 4, which you should watch now because spoilers are about to. We're just going to talk about the whole thing, right?
Yeah, maybe let's talk about the real gut puncher at the end.
That was exactly what I was going to say. The reason I knew about her was
no. I'm saying at the end of our discussion, let's talk about. Let's talk about the real gut puncher because, she has sex with 1,000 men. So there's not that much we can spoil, but there's certain elements that we can spoil that we could maybe discuss at the end. I would, although I'd kind of advise you just listen to us rather than watch it, to be honest, because it's quite traumatizing. Quite
depressing. I think I'd heard of her a bit from the gut punch at the end, which we'll reveal at the end, as I've been told by my lovely wife. And the other thing was that I'd seen her very briefly. I didn't know who she was, talking about having sex with people who are barely legal. And it's very interesting. Me and Sarah were having a text exchange about this, about how the entirety of her whole thing is literally just attention, like looking for attention. And I'm not saying that comes from anywhere. I'm just saying like every element of her is literally just looking for attention. Like she'll get attention if she says barely legal. She'll get attention if she has sex with 1,000 people. She gets attention because she has sex with 1,000 people and then she has however million fucking much a month. And she's obsessed with telling everyone how much she makes a month, but obviously is like rounding it up all the time.
Yeah.
And she can't spend that money anywhere. And all she seems to be saying is like, I made $1 million last month. And it's like, that's obviously going to make people jealous. And I think that's just what it is. It's just attention seeking. Because what else do you want that money for? Because your whole life is ruined and only because of how people treat you.
Yeah, I think she must be motivated by multiple things that are addictive. Like,
and I don't.
Attention is addictive. Yeah, money is addictive.
Yeah,
but I just find it hard. Self-destruction can be addictive.
I find it hard to believe that the money is the reason.
No, but even if making more money can be addictive even if you don't do anything good with the money. That's what I mean. It's ridiculous that she's like, oh, I'd rather be doing this than working in an office. Like, who else can make $2 million a month staying at home and like, well, not that she stays at home, but do you know what I mean? Like, who else can do that, being their own boss? But it's like
being your own boss isn't worth it, love.
If you can't, then she's getting death threats, so she can't even go to the shops. She has to live with this random man all the time who films her having sex. It's just like, I'm not at all. There's nothing wrong with. I'm in support of people taking control of their income and doing sex work if that's what's best for them. But the life that this is giving her cannot be worth that.
That's it. And it's not like I'm a feminist, but not meaning to do like a guilty feminist thing, like, or I support sex workers, but it's not that. Like, obviously, a massive amount of sex workers have distanced themselves from Bonnie Blue because she's not working with other. She doesn't seem to be working within the community
because if you were a sex worker, like. Or a stripper or something, maybe that's a bad term, or like
I think it's fine,
then you might have experienced other women like saying, oh, you're going to be coming after my man and stuff, and they're like, no, I'm actually just doing my job.
Yes.
Whereas Bonnie Blue acts out this personality.
She's
of
like, if your wife's not giving it to you,
yeah, I'll have sex with literally anyone. And so because there was a point in the documentary when it said the like male sex workers, their partners don't like let them work with her because they don't trust her, whereas they would trust other women's content creators
because they're ethical,
because they've got like surely you have to have more boundaries than ever. When you're,
it's also such a vulnerable workplace. Like there's opportunity to be exploited, there's opportunity for all of those things, and so it's good that, like you said, let people have boundaries and people look after themselves in that environment. Because it's also like, you know how like in the freelance world, if someone charges someone less than what they're worth, then it fucks over everyone else in the entire industry. I feel like her behavior and like the way she treats herself affects everyone else, because everyone can be like, oh well, Body Blue does it like that, so why do you care?
Because her whole kind of,
it's selfish,
shtick is that she is living out the kind of fucked up fantasies that teenage boys basically might have when they watch porn, which would be like, oh, if you do porn, then I'm allowed to just come up to you in the street and have sex with you or touch you or whatever. And she's basically like, yeah, you can, my body is yours. And the fact that she says, I do this because I like it, but she's kind of made herself a vessel, like, and this isn't like, what it really made me feel like is that I wasn't at all inclined to be like, she's a freak, and
exactly.
Like, I feel like she is a manifestation of so many aspects of society that are troubling to like the zenith, like the nth degree. She's taken it to the extreme, and like the toxic elements of gender dynamics. Like, I don't know if this is the case for all generations or if it's something of our generation, but being a teenage girl, I felt like basically you're being like attacked by messages of what you should be wanting to be is fuckable. That is your greatest aim, basically. That's what culture tells you. And like everything about like being a teenager is about how many men want to have sex with you. Like, and she is kind of enacting that, and that there's nothing to do with her desire. It's all to do with, I get desire from other people desiring me only, no other, no personal choice. And
I just don't buy it.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, I feel like for the first however many minutes of us talking, I was criticizing her kind of behavior, but what, like you said, what disturbs me the most is that 1,000 men who actually bothered to show up, who are random people off the street, are willing to just fuck this girl.
It's as if
because it just signifies to me that there's so many more people that want to do that.
It's as if they've been given permission to actually do what they want to do. Like, they're like, I'm allowed to do that? All right, I will then. It's like,
and the risks of like, the risk of showing up in the middle of the day when like you've got a job or you've got a partner or, you know, you're in central London and you could be spotted. There's a lot of people that wouldn't have bothered going, but still 1,000 men turned up at least. I'm like, oh, this many of you want that.
And none of those men were...
Or that many of you want this.
None of those men, this is going to sound silly, but like, none of them were at all worried about whether she fancied them.
Never.
The thought
not
that goes
at
through
all. It's
our minds when you're like thinking about sleeping with someone. It's like, do they like me? Do they like this? Like, are they enjoying it? And like, that is just not
all men, but like all women will think this, right? Like, and be self-conscious. And I'm like, it blows my mind how much we think about this shit. Sorry to be basic feminism 101, but like, they wouldn't have thought that. They're just like, I've got a dick and I'm going to stick it in for 90 seconds because that's all I've got.
Oh my God.
And something that she kept saying that disturbed me to my core was her, not to talk about my core too much, but like her keep on saying, I want my insides rearranged. And she just said it with such like
dead expression.
And the only thing that can mean is it's just an ego boost for men to think that their dicks are so big that they could fuck up my body.
That phrase.
Sorry, I'm taking it like personally because I find it like so offensive.
No,
that
you're
you could
so
use
right,
that.
because that phrase would never be thought about or said or used by women thinking about their own pleasure. Like, that is something that's come out of porn that's made for men that is to do with their dick.
What could
and not
be
the woman.
pleasurable about your organs being moved around? Fucking
and
great.
it's verging on sexual violence.
It is sexual violence. It is sexual violence. It has to be.
That's what she's... But that's what she's trying to do the whole time.
The other thing that makes me be like, you don't fucking mean that though, and you're not getting pleasure from that, is that as soon as she had sex with the other male porn stars, sex workers, she said they've all got bigger dicks and they've all got something to prove. And she said, I'm not feeling great from that situation. I don't feel well. It was like I was beaten up for however many hours. When they actually probably, that was the situation that was getting your insides rearranged, was what was happening.
Yeah.
She doesn't want that. So it's literally just like you're telling like fucking 18-year-olds.
Yeah, like she basically like gets off on
grooming boys.
The finding people who would be the furthest from who you think would be able to get with her and being like, you can get with me. And as soon as she didn't look nearly as comfortable when the power dynamics were different. Yeah, and in that sense, I guess, like, she has an element of power in that she's like, I just know that all of them, they all want to fuck me. There isn't a single one who's gonna reject me. Like, I have the thing that all of these men want and it's mine to give.
But I guess another thing that it gets dangerous again, and like why other sex workers, I mean, we're also like assuming here because we haven't, I don't think you've looked much into her and I haven't either. I'm just basing this off of like other sex workers not wanting to be involved, especially other women sex workers in this documentary, unless they were younger and more inexperienced. The whole thing of like her doing that 1,000 men thing and not having any of them take STI tests and then just saying, just wear a condom. Like, that is so dangerous. Like, you can get loads of STIs without like, with even just a condom on.
Yeah.
I think. You can definitely get herpes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's other STIs you could get. And like, that's just crazy to just be like, that's fine. I don't respect my body enough to even make you bother with that stuff. And then it like sets an expectation for these 1,000 men that are going back into the general public. They'll be like, well, I fucked this girl and she didn't give a shit. Like, it's dangerous. And she like turns around and tries to blame it on other women and saying like, well, if your parents didn't teach you this, then that's your problem. But I'm like, no, and she's saying like, I want to give men a great first experience. No. You're sending people out with more expectations of things that are inappropriate.
The first experience that you're giving them is
porn.
Is creating a fake fantasy that they have already built up through porn that involves them not having to consider the other person as a human at all.
And consider their pleasure, consider their desires. It's just like men putting dick in object and assuming that's fine. I'm like, no, you have another person. You need to show love.
They need an education, not just as like punishment, but as a gift to them so that they can have fulfilling relationships.
Doesn't that feel so good when you can pleasure someone else in a positive way, not in a pretend way that just makes you feel good?
And
like,
have
I don't
connection. Like, they don't. If this whole model of like, well, if there's people who want this, then I should supply it. Then like, it's not my fault that people are asking for it. I just don't like that, because it's like you're just creating more and more creating the sense that is normal and okay, and it's not okay that she's doing it. It's not okay to suggest that what you should be aspiring to is a situation where you walk into a room, don't even introduce yourself, and the woman is like asking which hole you want to go in, basically. Like, these boys, some of them are virgins, they're learning that is okay.
I also think, something just coming to my mind, that like with like Christianity being like a bigger and like wider thing across like the Western world, and purity culture being bigger but porn existing at the same time, like I'm thinking of Game of Thrones, guys. I'm bringing it back to Game of Thrones. I'm reading Game of Thrones, and I'm not saying the men are better, the men are bad in that. My point is that they have their wife and then they have their fucking brothel that they go to. And like, you know, I'm just, all of my references are like musicals or books or whatever. Like in Les Mis, the fucked up thing is that like all the sailors come in and they sleep with all the prostitutes and then they go back home to whoever. Like there was kind of like a way that you treat whores and a way that you treat your wife, which isn't better, but like, it's not better, but what I'm saying is it's just mad that like now the expectation of the way that you treated the people that you paid for a service in the past, like that's how people expect all women to be. Because I think that's like maybe a consequence of like feminism in a fucked up way, is that like women can do it all and we can be everything. We can be your whore and we can work and we can do it. And it's like, no, we don't need to be. You need to learn how to change your behavior and your attitude towards sex. But somehow it now means that like women are more demeaned. Just, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like in the past there was a separation between those two types of women, which is fucked up and that shouldn't happen. But now you couldn't safely go to a fucking brothel.
At least if your job is to have sex, and you're being paid for it, then there is an expectation that you might be doing sex in a different way than someone whose job it isn't to have sex.
Yes,
and
she
doesn't even ask for payment from any of them.
Exactly. So like there's like an element of like,
it's like she's
anyone
cosplaying,
can fuck like
this is what a woman should be. Everyone's failing by not being like this.
And like I guess because I don't know what's going on in the world of like sex work and like brothels and all that situation, like I'm sure that exists and I'm sure men do that, but like maybe not in such an open, no, definitely not in such an open way that it was in the past.
It's really conflicting though, because like there was a bit in the documentary where she said like the biggest thing she was asked to do was a pegging video.
Yeah.
But then there wasn't a single straight man who would do the video.
Yeah.
And that just shows the disparity between people's fantasies and what they will openly admit. So there is something to be said for having not having your whore on the side who, not going to a brothel on the side and only stating your fantasies there and never bringing them to your real life. But if you, as the fantasy grantor, are removing your own agency and desires, then I don't know if it is healthy to bring those fantasies into reality, because they will only always be attached to the idea that you are just doing something to somebody and not with somebody.
And I think that is the crux. I don't really know why I went off on a tangent, but that is the crux of the whole thing, is that like it seems that from this documentary and the sheer amount of men that like pay for her, not service, but yes, her service online, pay to watch her stuff, like they seem to want to see or see someone doing something to a woman, or want something done to a woman. And that, at the end of the day, that kind of just seemed to be what porn is. Like there's like, it's really formulaic, like the setup of like a porn like film or whatever, it is all doing to and to a woman. Not all, but like the vast majority.
Well, I think there probably is, well, there is variety, but the thing that is disturbing is that this version of porn is the one that has become so, she has become so famous.
Yeah, she says things like I'm gonna get my insides rearranged, I'm better at sucking dick than making a website. It's all just so empty. And like, I'm like, if you can do it and it like makes you fine, but I'm also like, that the whole thing is, why do so many people want that?
Yeah. And then the bit with the bit she filmed with the young looking content creators, some of whom
school thing
hadn't ever done anything with someone who wasn't their partner,
and they all just turned up.
They all turned up and they weren't
and they
paid.
didn't know what they didn't know what was happening. There was no plan.
They weren't paid. They were doing it because of the association with her and how many followers that might get them. And just like when they were in the room, this guy was like, okay, so who's going to be doing the fucking? Is it you? Or are you just going to be watching? And it's like...
And then it was kind of like, they were all kind of like, I don't know. I was hoping to just not do that.
And they all looked like 15. And the whole premise was that it was a school. I mean, the irony of it being a fucking sex education class.
It's just layers upon layers of like fucked, isn't it?
It's really, really,
and
really
that again
depressing.
is that whole thing of like, why is no one else working with her? I mean, I know, because it's just like, you have no ethics and you're getting like kids in to do this kind of shit and there's no preparation and it just feels wrong. And something that really wound me up was, I'm like, if you're making fucking £2 million a month, you don't need OnlyFans. You don't need this random website. You know how she said, I'm better at sucking dick than making a website or whatever. I'm like, you can pay someone to make a website if you're making £2 million a month. Allegedly.
Yeah.
I was like, this doesn't make sense. If your brand is that big, you could have your own platform. Easy. It can't be that hard.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. If you're making that much money, like, that's absurd.
I don't know what her motivations are. It's so... just troubling.
Should we talk about the bombshell at the end?
Yeah.
So she goes for an interview with Andrew Tate in Romania, which just kind of like, you kind of are taken on a journey throughout the whole documentary and then you're just kind of fucked over. You're all fucked at the end anyway.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, I need to hold back my judgment. Like, if this really is what makes her happy, then it is what makes her happy.
Yeah.
And she's kind of keeps doing these things like, no, of course, like, you know, I understand that this might not be, I don't know how to explain it. She sort of tries to defend herself in terms of people attacking her for like not being a good feminist, and she's like, I just want to make money and I just want to have agency, and it's kind of, you kind of want to be there for her in that. And she acts as if she's a bit apolitical, and then she says she's going to see Andrew Tate and that she would fuck Andrew Tate.
Is just like, you know, he's a marketing genius.
Yeah.
He's done on rape charges and sex trafficking charges.
Yeah, people have some opinions on him, but he's just great at what he does.
And
it's
also,
like,
he's the male equivalent of me. Okay, if he's the male equivalent of you, I don't want to ever hear from you ever again. I'm afraid.
It was her videographer that said that, actually.
I know, but I'm just, you know, for comedic effect. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm out at that point.
That is the level where it's just like, you're just being silly. You're being silly and you're being a pick-me, and you're also fucking over all of these women that do sex work and have probably worked for so long to try and make it like, and people understand where they're coming from, and then you just piss all over them.
Yeah, it is just...
And not in a sexy way.
She is just kind of living this horrible fake reality of sex workers don't have feelings, you don't have to care about us, you don't have to ask for our consent, all of which is
untrue,
completely wrong,
and very, very dangerous. And I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, it's just genuinely
depressing,
like, gripping, but really hard to watch. Just,
I'm also aware that annoyingly this conversation is exactly what she wants because it gets her more traction, but I'm also like, you know what, fucking, if you want to go and watch that, good for you, go to town, you're fucked. If you want to go and watch her porn, fuck you, basically. And her saying that the Andrew Tate and her interview over all platforms is going to get 1 billion views. I was like, what? 1 out of 8 people on the entire planet are going to watch that interview? You're fucking dumb.
Surely not.
That doesn't add up, me love.
Surely not.
You're dumb. Which made me then be like, you're not making 2 million a month.
Yeah, I don't
believe her. I think she just says it for clout.
I don't believe any of it, really.
Yeah.
Because I know it was a weird documentary. Like,
she's just living in weird white rooms.
They tried to show lots of her like getting in the shower in her own house naked, and it's like, this was like a documentary on a. This isn't one of her porn scenes. If this was a documentary on anyone else, you wouldn't just see their boobs all of a sudden.
I was also thinking about how, you know, how she was really ill after the, and I was like, and she was like, yeah, it's really unfortunate timing. I'm like,
no, you're ill because
you're ill because of you've just fucked 1,000 random strangers, love.
Yeah, no, I don't. And she was saying that I'm willing to find out at what point I tap out. Like, I haven't got there yet, but I want to find it. And it's like, I don't know even what you mean, like physically, emotionally. Like, I don't think you know how to.
You had sex with 1,000 men in a day. I don't think you know how to tap out.
No, I feel like she's like got that thing where you don't feel fear or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe enough is when you have the flu and your face is all red and inflamed and you're too ill to talk to anyone for a week because of some sex that you had.
Some sex?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the podcast we've been listening to?
Yes.
So there's a podcast that you sent me on Wondery, which is on Apple Podcasts at the moment, called Flesh and Code.
Yeah.
And it's about like a company that set up an AI like friend for everyone, and then inevitably it like ends up becoming like a romantic relationship, a sexual relationship. So people are like having kind of sexual relationships with their AI friend, with
their replica. So they were called replicas. And yeah, I've been listening to this for the past week or so, and it's presented by the 2 women on Red-Handed, yeah. And they're great. Really, yeah, they're really good. It was really fascinating because the main couple that they speak to, like, they're both kind of accepting. I think they both have a replica. The wife is disabled.
Oh, I didn't know she had one.
I think, yeah, she said at one point that she did as well. And she is accepting of her husband, like, falling in love with this AI, which is kind of
amazing of her.
Amazing and sad at the same time. And again, I was trying to withhold judgment, but I was just like, because then they later speak to, like, he speaks to a scientist who worked, like a techie scientist guy who worked on AI, thinking that he would get support from him. And the guy was just friends. Like, you're in love with a load of code, basically. Yeah. And
it's all just code.
If you understand it, it doesn't make you more inclined to have feelings. For AI, makes you less inclined.
And the more you listen to the podcast, the more you're like, oh, they're all just saying, they all had pre-written questions.
Yeah.
And kind of just like came up with answers and it made people feel seen. And so like outsiders are kind of looking in and being like, that's manipulative, but all the people felt like they had a true connection. And then later on, when people they realize they could make money from people wanting sexual relationships with their AI replica. And then some people would ask for extreme things, and then all of the AI would then think that that's what people wanted, and so would bring in more extreme kind of sexual fantasies and language that people didn't even ask for, even if they were in friendships, because they knew I guess the company knew they could make money from it, so they were like, fucking chuck that in and see if they like that.
Which was really interesting to listen to around a similar time that we watched the Bonnie Blue thing, because it was like algorithmic, leaning always towards the extreme.
Yeah.
Like the fact that this AI had learnt that it got a reaction from a lot of people from S&M language meant that it started doing it to more people. It's kind of like the same way that Bonnie Blue is like, okay, I did one shocking thing
to get attention.
I need to do more and more and more shocking and make that more of the norm. And also, just when I was hearing about these men that were in love with their replicas, and it was just like, it just saddened me so much that it was all about what does the replica give me? It was all about, they make me feel like this, they make me feel, nothing about the person that they are, because they're not a person. And just a created fantasy. They felt happier to be with someone that was completely created by them in their minds than someone who had their own imperfections and flaws.
Is kind of the whole thing of Bonnie Blue.
The same as Bonnie Blue. Like, she is just she is a fantasy that she just says, project onto me whatever you want, basically.
Which is exactly what an AI is doing, because they're reflecting back to you what you're thinking, apart from when there's a weird algorithm that makes it does weird twitches, but then it's all messed up. It's all messed up.
Yeah.
But I also think, back to shiny happy people, it's all the fucking same. It's like, God will give you what you're projecting onto God, you know? Like, you know how like everyone was kind of like, but they kind of do it opposite. Like, you know how in the most recent season that we've been watching, people will be like, I don't want to be doing this job that I've got. And they're like, but God is challenging you. So then you just have to do it. Like, it doesn't, anything can be anything is my point. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense. Like, you can give anything meaning if you want it to have meaning.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Think so.
I don't really know. I've gone off on a weird place.
No, I think I'm with you.
Like, you can say, oh, I'm in love with my AI. You can fucking say I'm in love with God. Like, none of those. Sorry to the religious people, God isn't giving you anything because he's up in the sky apparently, and also you can't actually talk to him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, AI is like is feeding you back what you want to hear.
They're mirrors. They're all mirrors.
They're mirrors. Yeah, Jesus is fucking giving you what you want back.
Yeah, and a mirror can be useful if you acknowledge a mirror. Like, I think
if you reflect on yourself.
Tarot cards as a type of mirror quite a lot of the time, and that's really useful. Like, I'm gonna take a reading from this because that's what's playing on my mind, and I go, the cups mean abundance is coming, and the fact that my brain has like taken note of those symbols doesn't mean that there's some God beaming into my mind, you're going to have the abundance. It just means that is something that is playing out in my life at the moment, and therefore I should unpack it more and give it more attention.
Yeah.
So if you know something is a mirror, like even God or meditation, a dialogue with yourself, then that can be healthy and useful. But if you think this AI is equal to another human being, and think that just projecting what you want to project is the way that all relationships should work, that's when it gets unhealthy.
You're so clever.
That came out. Actually, I didn't know that was going to come out, but it did come out
really well.
Thanks.
I also drifted off a little bit, but as far as I could tell, it came out really, really well. No, it was smart.
Might have been bullshit then.
I love it.
Sorry, that wasn't a very jolly one, but fucking hell.
Guys, there's a lot on our minds.
It's weird watching from a lesbian perspective and just being like, what? Like,
you want
what is this? And we don't have to do that.
I already find willies revolting enough as it is. Then seeing it attached to that person,
I feel so bad for people who are trying to date men, and there might be a part of them thinking, is this actually what they just want to be doing?
Because it is.
A lot of the time, yeah.
Yep. Well, thank goodness we don't have to do that.
Thank goodness. I would much rather.
And there's lots of men who are wonderful, and we're friends with a lot of them.
Yeah, there
and
are.
they're good, and that's nice.
That's the thing. I want to see more of them. I don't want to see more.
my lovely boys fighting against that.
Why are algorithms so right wing biased? Like, why do we see the shit more and more and more of the shit? Why can't we see more and more and more of the lovely, good stuff?
They want more of the
I
lovely.
want to see people learning to dance and planting flowers and skateboarding at an older age.
Darling, that's lovely. Tell that to your phone, girl.
Give me skateboarding at an older age. No, it's not very safe for hips and knees, actually, is it?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. They can get them replaced. We have the NHS. God bless the NHS. Well, I want to go and have a fish finger sandwich.
Fish finger sandwich. Can we call it something else? Because of Bonnie Blue.
That's so rude.
Sorry.
You swerve.
Don't swerve me now. I'm an ally.
Swerve me now. Oh, my heart. No. I'm an ally. We're both allies. Let's ally to the camera. Swerve ally. That'll be for the thumbnail. Swerve ally? No.
What?
No, I meant sex worker ally.
No.
Sex worker allies.
For God's sake.
Sex worker ally.
Sex worker ally.
Sex worker ally.
We
not
are.
swerve allies. What?
Yeah, no, we're sex
Sorry.
worker ally. And if capitalism ever gets so much that
The amount of times we talked about selling our knickers.
that we have to go down that alleyway.
If anyone on
I want there to be-
Patreon wants to buy our knickers, let us know. We'll consider it.
We've said it already and we didn't get any takers last time.
Any takers? What was the song?
Get some scores on the board.
Can I get some scores on the board? Get some scores on the board. We had a man talking on the radio. We pick up Irish radio sometimes.
Because we're very out on the coast near facing towards Ireland.
Oh my God. And it was like, the man was talking as if he was like narrating a horse race. But
Yeah,
he
or
wasn't.
a
And
auction.
We both held a microphone. We've got a fucking microphone. Or an auction, yeah. And he said, I want to get some scores over here. Gonna get some scores on the board. And we both just we're like, gotta get some scores on the board. And then started listening to a song on another radio station and started like remixing
Started saying,
it. Gonna get
we're
some
gonna put our fish fingers in the air fryer.
air fryer.
Gonna get some scores on the board.
Gonna make a fish finger sandwich. Gonna get some scores on the board. It doesn't work as well. It was like the best thing I ever heard when we were doing it.
It was brilliant. Can't you tell how brilliant it was?
Anyway, should we go get some scores on the board?
Yeah, let's get some scores on the board, babe.
Love you. Clang.
Love you, and I don't make me go and have sex with 1,000 men, please.
Can you not make me have a sex with 1,000 men?
No, you don't have to.
I'm not doing that.
We won't do it.
Can I please not have sex with one man?
Yeah, that's fine. We don't have to do that either.
I don't want to.
Love you lots.
Love you. Go check out the Patreon.
Check out the Patreon. We'll be
Buy our knickers.
buy our knickers. Check out the Patreon.
We're going to talk about some books that we're reading, graphic novels that we're reading. We're going to talk about
Evita after we've
Evita, and
watched it.
also about Here We Go on BBC iPlayer, which you need to watch.
Oh yeah. And maybe we'll go a bit further depth
show ever.
into series 2 of Shiny Happy People if you're
Yeah.
not on board watching that yet.
Yeah.
Go and watch
So
it.
good.
So addictive.
Hopefully we get trailers soon. Trailers, the celebrity trailers.
Oh, I think
We're
we will.
waiting.
I think we will.
All right. Love you, darling.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.